Hello everyone, this is Talking with Tea Stout, and today, this might be a little touchy subject for some people, but I'm not a parent. I don't have any kids, but just, seeing my friends' kids and everything, and seeing society as it is, kids acting up. I mean, I was a good kid growing up. It's just some of the things are, discipline reasons. I'm not gonna sit here and read this. This is how to discipline your own child. If you would like to pause it and read this stuff, it's just basically talking about several ways we can make children behave. Now, I don't know about you or anyone, but I was born in '85, so I'm still a youngin'. But when I did something wrong, I got my ass beat. I mean, sometimes it was with a belt, sometimes it was with my dad's hand, but I did something wrong, I got my ass beat, and I didn't do it twice. That's all it takes is one time. Believe that. Especially with him, because if you didn't want to do it again, because you'd be knocked through a wall. So, and I don't know, I see, kids and, foster care and out on the streets and in juvie, and some are even in jail. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Why can't they listen? What's the real problem here? I mean, I'm not a parent. Now, I know some of you older viewers that were growing up in the 40s and 50s, if you are watching this, we all know how you got it. And I mean, you guys turned out great, because if you did something wrong, you got your ass beat. I mean, not just spanking, ass beat. Bad. Yeah, I hear all sorts of stuff from my mom and my dad when he was here. But it just seems now, nowadays, if you quote-unquote spank a child, you'll get your child taken away from you. And, I don't totally agree with that. I just don't agree with that. Because the only way they're going to listen is if you spank them, period. I'm not saying beat your child, but just a little spanking here then that often backfire. Spanking, physical punishment, it didn't backfire on me. I got my ass beat when I was little, and I mean, I've turned out just fine. But taking away favorite things, I had my Super Nintendo taken away from me for 3 months. I didn't do what I did again. And the stuff down here works too. I mean, telling expectations before this all works. I'm not gonna sit here and disagree with some of this stuff, but kids nowadays, they don't get their ass beat like they did back in the day, and that's what's wrong with them. They need to be whipped. I'm not saying beat the shit out of them, but just spank their ass whenever they act up. Everyone needs a good ass beating, because they think, I better not do that again. That hurt. If I continue to do this, I'm going to get that same punishment. It hurts. So trust me, they if they're smart and they have a brain, which they do, they won't do it again. And this is right here how to misbehave in the classroom. And you folks back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, if you're watching this, you know what happened in school when you misbehaved. Yeah, you got your ass beat by the teacher, which I totally don't agree with. You should get your ass beat by your parents, but not the teacher. And I don't have kids. I want kids someday. And if they act up, I'm going to spank their ass. I'm not going to beat them. I'm just going to spank them. Because that's the only way they learn, is if you spank them. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just my personal opinion, because I've been there. when I did do wrong, Dad did spank my ass. I did go to my room. I was grounded from TV, from Super Nintendo, from PlayStation. I didn't have a phone back then, but I was grounded from everything for like a month. And I figure, and you know, that goes to my head, if I want this stuff back, and I want to do what I used to do, I better not do that again, I better straighten up. So it did work for me. So, I mean, I'm not against spanking a kid because it works, because it's worked on me. But that's just my personal opinion on the matter. If you have a different opinion, on it, folks, feel free to comment in the comment section. You know, it's just I've seen it. I've seen kids not disciplined, not getting spanked, and they turn out to be brats. They don't listen, blah blah blah, and it's just bad. And like, you know, the child care services, don't spank your kid. There's other ways to do it. Oh, there are? What? You tell me, because most of you guys grew up in the 30s, grew up in the 50s and 60s. Most of them around here anyway. I mean, they're older workers. And you guys got your ass beat. And look how you turned out. You turned out pretty good. So what's the big deal? I'm not saying beat your kid. But if they act out of line, spank their ass, because that's what they need. That's what this generation needs. It would put a stop to all this bullshit that's going on with these kids. It would. You know, put them in a corner. I mean, it's wrong to put your kid in a corner. I got put in a corner all the fucking time. All the time I was put in a corner. Now, I wasn't a little troublemaker, but it worked for me. You know, I turned out just fine. I listen. I'm a good kid. I'm a good guy. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I've never been to jail. Never been. You know, I'm a good guy. I'm a good person. It's just give me your opinions on how you think we should discipline kids. You know, this is just my opinion. The spanking works. I mean, don't beat your kids. There's a difference between spanking your kids and beating your kids. Big difference. And, you know, I just want to hear your guys' opinion on it. You know, nobody's wrong in this matter. It's just an opinion. Do what you want to do. You know, I'm not going to criticize you on how you discipline your own kids, if you have kids, or what you're going to do when you do have kids. But this is my opinion on it, because it's worked on me. It's worked for my parents. It worked for my older brother. For the most part, his problem was he hung out with the wrong folks, but he got his ass beat too. But yeah, tell me what you all think. So this has been Talking with T Stout, and I hope you all have a good day.